So I've had a few videos of late that required making dowels to plug pocket holes, and I always refer to making my own dowels, typically out of the material I'm using. Had a few questions about making my own dowel, and this one I'm going to show you how to do it. As you can see, ends up, except for my little hair here, but that's all right. Ends up a pretty smooth dowel. Can you see that? This is poplar. Doesn't end up quite this smooth out of pine, but really, how often do you turn dowels out of pine? I do it all the time, but most people won't. So, if you want to see how I did it, check it out. Alright, so all I have here is a 3/8 inch metal cutting bit. You can use an expensive bit, you can use a cheap bit, just don't use a brad point bit. Now this is for a 3/8 hole, but you can do it for whatever size you want. I'll go all the way up to 1/2 inch using a bit. After that, I'll turn them on a lathe. The good part about making your own dowels is you can use your own material, or whatever material matches the project. Or, you know, you don't have to go spend 20 bucks on a 2-foot section of maple or mahogany or hell, I don't know, walnut, whatever you're doing. So, to get started, just find you a piece of metal. It doesn't have to be a great piece of metal. In fact, this is a little strap that came from packing material of the lathe. So, a decent size angle bracket, just anything that's not going to flex greatly or bend when you're pushing down on it is all you need. So I do have a dab of cutting oil on here because it is a decent bit, and then just drill a hole. So there you go, 3/8 hole. Now you turn to the next process, which is going to be finding a decent, look at that piece of wood right there. Now this is poplar. What I'm making these plugs for, it's not going to be seen anyway, but I like to fill the holes just for fun. So the main thing you want to do is find a piece that has fairly straight grain. It's pretty hard to see on this, but the grain is running pretty true. Now this little knot's going to get cut out, so I'm not real worried about it. So out of your scrap pile, or whatever project you're using, a little cutoff, find you a piece that has pretty straight grain. And for this, I'm going to rip it down just a hair over 3/8 by 3/8. So let's go to the table saw and do that. Still going. Alright, so you got your 3/8 by 3/8 square. This is probably 22 inches long. You don't want it real long because it'll start vibrating when you go. Now I'm just going to round off one edge so it'll fit in the hole, and then kind of square up the other edge so I can stick it into the drill. So I got just a little point that'll fit into the hole to get started, and then that'll fit up in the chuck of my drill. So now just mount it in your drill. I like to use a power drill for this, just old school that way. And then keeping in mind which way your 3/8 hole is. Now generally, I mean, you can go in and cut this out with a little file or a Dremel or something and put a little edge on there. I find you really don't need to do that right off the bat. Now, after I use this hole a time or two, or if I'm cutting a really dense wood, I'll do that. But right now, it's fine.
How are you going to get that piece of wood out?
With a screw. So I did snap out of my chuck, but so you get a pretty nice little dowel, which cut really smooth. You can just run your sandpaper through there and call that a day. I'm just going to use it for plugs, so I'm happy with the way it is. So there you go, just a 3/8 hole in a chunk of steel, some straight grain wood, and you got a dowel. Hope you enjoyed. Have a good day.